up, Tzu Chi volunteers distribute aid to Typhoon Fung-Wong victims in San Mateo, the Philippines. We check on a retired couple in Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur and see how they are inspiring their community to recycle. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Dennis Wu. Thank you for joining us. Tropical storm Fung-Wong swept across the Philippines in mid-September, triggering severe flooding throughout the northern and central Philippines. After successfully helping the affected residents of San Mateo, Rizal province clean up their community by launching its Cash for Work program, Tzu Chi volunteers have returned once again to host 3 large-scale distributions, helping over 4,700 affected families.
Crowds gather outside the stadium, while inside it is full to the brim. San Mateo residents, whose lives have been affected by the recent tropical storm Fung-Wong, are awaiting the start of Tzu Chi's distribution.
We hope that my constituents in San Mateo will all be inspired by the Tzu Chi Foundation and stand up again.
David Angeles donates 50 pesos, which is the equivalent of a day's income, into the bamboo coin bank. As Angeles has limited mobility, he set out for the distribution venue along with his 7-year-old grandson while it was still dark outside.
I can't walk fast because I'm crippled, so I left home before sunrise. I don't have a flashlight, so I could only find my way through the dark. By the time we arrived, it was already daylight.
Upon receiving Tzu Chi's 20-kilogram bag of rice, a mattress and mosquito net, volunteers help Angeles carry the supplies home. Crossing a river and walking for miles on foot, they finally arrive at his home. What was left of the rice in his bucket was only enough to make some porridge. Facing the same plight is another flood survivor, Gloria Santos. Volunteers make their way through a narrow alley before arriving at a dark and dilapidated home. Now that the floodwaters have receded, the entire home is covered in mud stains. Responding to the urgent needs of survivors, Taiwanese inventor Deng Hongji was deeply moved by Tzu Chi's compassion.
I saw many flood survivors who were deeply moved by Tzu Chi's love. They are so full of gratitude for Master Zheng Yan. I feel that the distribution was very effective.
In one day's time, working from morning to evening, Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers completed 3 large-scale distributions in San Mateo, aiding close to 5,000 families. First initiating a Cash for Work program, followed by large-scale distributions, what continues to accompany local residents through times of need is Tzu Chi's selfless love.
Staying in the Philippines, it will soon be the 1-year anniversary of Typhoon Haiyan. However, many victims remain homeless. Thus, Tzu Chi has been doing its best to build prefabricated homes in Taiwan before sending them to the Philippines to be assembled. Besides those being built in Omak City, 250 units of the prefabs will also be built in the town of Palo, where 150 locals have signed up to join Tzu Chi's Cash for Work program to help expedite the process.
150 tadong adi. 150. 1. But nga 150.
Mark and his crew of 7 are quite familiar with the assembly of Tzu Chi's prefabricated homes after having learned the skill in Manila. Now that Tzu Chi is building 250 homes in Palo, Mark's team can put those skills to use.
Sobrang napakasaya.
I'm very glad to have this opportunity to give and assemble these prefabricated homes with everyone. One person alone cannot do much, but by uniting our strength, we can accomplish a lot more.
Marunong, hindi lang yung isa.
For Leonardo and Rito, who has helped assemble prefabricated classrooms at an earlier date, they find working on their prefabricated homes is not necessarily easier.
The concept of these prefabs is quite different, but I will try hard to learn. We hope to finish them soon so my fellow countrymen will have a place to live.
Due to language barriers, mishaps do happen from time to time.
Though we don't speak the same language, we still try to communicate. I've worked with the volunteers before when I helped assemble prefab classrooms. I'm very touched that the volunteers came all the way from Taiwan to help out Typhoon Haiyan victims.
Actually, 6 of the homes had been completed by the time the team from Taiwan arrived.
They worked really hard to put together these 6 homes. We were touched when we saw them. We can tell they want to help those displaced by the typhoon find a home.
Sharing a common goal, both local residents and Tzu Chi volunteers are uniting their efforts on behalf of Haiyan victims.
Go, go, go!
Heading over to Vietnam, Tzu Chi missions are carried out in and around Binh Duong province, as many Taiwanese businesses are located here. Recently, the province's Ministry of Foreign Affairs referred 50 impoverished households in northern Taiyuan district to Tzu Chi. So on September 14th, volunteers prepared relief items and set out to see how they can offer their assistance.
Unlike the bustling industrial area of Binh Duong province, North Tan Nguyen district is a quiet and rural countryside. On this day, Tzu Chi volunteers set out to visit 50 households. For those families to whom volunteers cannot get to by car, they set out on foot instead. Visiting one senior, volunteers find him living in desperate poverty.
三餐都吃什么？
Ông vậy ông ăn uống được bình thường không?
Not only bringing warmth and care, volunteers also gift these families with relief goods. For one care recipient who suffers from diabetes, it is exactly what she needed.
Don't cry, it's going to be okay. Let's have a chat. We are all friends here. You can tell us your worries.
Cảm ơn chị đến lắm. Hoàn cảnh quá nghe không khổ. Đau dạ dày, tăng huyết áp, tiểu đường độ 2.
Accompanied by social workers on this visit, Tzu Chi volunteers lend an ear for the impoverished to vent their troubles. In the days ahead, volunteers look forward to helping out as much as they can.
In today's series on depression, we will hear from an expert on how to cope with the illness. At the same time, we will explore the various antidepressants prescribed to treat the condition and their side effects. Here's our report.
As Sunday churchgoers pay their tribute to the Lord at the New Life Church in Taipei, they also welcome an important guest.
今天讲到开始之前，我希望可以跟大家分享一段历史。
It was the year 1912, and the date was April the 10th.
Dr. Rabi Sandarega starts his talk on depression by first telling the story of the Titanic. For he says depression is just like the tip of an iceberg. It is what is hidden beneath the sea, undetectable by the eyes, that matters.
It's interesting that the research says it's not the storms or the crash that counts, it's the way in which we think about what's happened that counts.
Though one may try to avoid the iceberg, just like the Titanic, often it is simply too late.
If a person is subjected to a prolonged period of depression and anxiety, the prevalence of the stress hormone will lead to damage of our brain cells. One exceptionally vulnerable part of the brain is the hippocampus, which is in charge of our memory.
The medical community in Taiwan believes medication can help repair damaged brain cells. According to data compiled by National Health Insurance Administration, over the past 3 years, more than $300 million were spent annually on psychiatric medication, of which 22% were antidepressants.
The memory loss is quite evident. I was on Prozac earlier, and when you eat that every day, it's gonna affect you.
But that's what the medication does anyway, numbs your feelings, and so you can have a general apathy towards life, so that you're not necessarily depressed anymore, but you're also not necessarily high anymore.
There are 4 major categories of antidepressants. Their side effects include diarrhea, headaches, nausea, constipation, drowsiness, and slowed reaction time. However, doctors do want to point out that these drugs are not habit-forming, and just with any medication, patients should discuss the side effects they experience with their doctors.
During the acute phase, especially when patients have thoughts of hurting themselves and exhibit evident physiological symptoms, we will rely more on medication.
In the beginning, I will try to regulate the serotonin level in the brain. By stabilizing serotonin levels, patients will be able to relax better.
Doctors say a typical treatment will last about 6 to 9 months before a patient can reduce his or her meds or be off meds completely. However, if the source of depression is not dealt with or patients stop taking their meds too early, the symptoms will reoccur. Patients can try to drink more milk and eat more oatmeal and nuts to increase the amino acids needed to produce serotonin. Doctors also recommend the 6 following steps.
The best advice I can give to somebody who's struggling with depression is don't keep it a secret. There's no shame at all. The brain is just part of the body. So go get some help so that your life can be put back on track and you can make life the best it can be.
Depression is a chronic disease and will take some time to treat. By giving yourself some time and space to relax and adjust, eventually you'll be able to find your natural balance once again.
In Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur, retired couple Tzu Chi and Wu Li-Zhu are not taking it easy during their golden years. Instead, they rise early to collect recyclables around their community. They then make 2 more trips throughout the day. These trips around the neighborhood have inspired many to join their cause, so much so that one owner even offered a lot in front of her storage area as a recycling point. Let's take a look at their inspirational story.
Riding around on a motorbike, Tzu Chi and Wu Li-Zhu are not out on a joyride, but are on a mission to collect recyclables. The husband and wife have been collecting recyclables from their neighbors since 2009. Even though Liu hurt his arm a few days ago, they still do this 3 times a day.
Wherever I would go, if I saw cardboard or plastic, I would pick it up. I have no worries when I'm doing recycling. On top of which, this act also benefits others. It makes me happier than if I was out traveling.
4 years ago, shoe store owner Sarah Wanan began his affinity with Tzu Chi when he saw the pair collecting recyclables around his store.
Zaman sekarang ni, jarang kita nak tengok orang yang buat amal kebajikan.
In this day and age, we hardly see anyone doing charity work or practicing environmental conservation. They are very dedicated. They give selflessly. I often see them cleaning up the street around the community or out collecting recyclables. It's all very moving, so I'm glad to save my recyclables for them.
In the beginning, he just saved recyclables for us, but later we introduced Tzu Chi and how it helps the less fortunate around the world, like those suffering from disasters. He was deeply touched and said he would donate 10 ringgit a month.
Even with a salvage yard close by, Sarah Wanan insists on saving his recyclables for Tzu Chi. Remaining steadfast to Tzu Chi's environmental mission, the couple has inspired people from different races and faiths to join their cause. Touched by the couple's dedication to protecting the environment, in 2010, store owner Guan Fengjing helped establish the Sri Selayang recycling point by allowing Tzu Chi and local residents to bring their recyclables to her storage garage area.
From morning until night, they will collect recyclables from their community. When I saw how dedicated they were, I wanted to contribute as well. This area isn't very large, so I try to find bigger containers to hold plastics like this. Otherwise, if it lays on the floor, it will collect water and breed mosquitoes.
Each month, Recycling Day becomes a family affair as Liu Chi's son gets involved at the site as well. At school, Liu's son is known as an environmental advocate. 90% of the recyclables at this point are collected by Liu and his wife, and although the point is small, the amount they collect is overwhelming. Thus, they must sort out a truckful each week to keep up.
Just like Master Zeng Yan says, we live in a time of 5 corruptions, and we should set examples for others to follow.
In the past 4 years, from dawn to dusk, Liu Chi and Wu Li-Zhu have protected the environment, doing more than their share for Mother Earth.
Staying in Kuala Lumpur, recently, 52 students at the city's DaAi Educare Center visited an organic farm where they got the opportunity to get in touch with nature, as well as try their hand at planting their own vegetables. The experience not only helps students better appreciate a farmer's hard work, but also to cherish the food on their plates. Here's more.
Curiously touching the earthworms, today 52 students of Kuala Lumpur DaAi Educare Center are visiting an organic farm with their teachers and parents. The children's curiosity and stream of questions just keeps coming.
All of you will get to plant a vegetable, okay?
Planting their seedlings in the soil, the children listen attentively as the farmer explains a plant's life cycle. Next, they try their hand at harvesting 30-day-old organic vegetables. Amidst the fun and excitement, students also realize the long hours and arduous work that comes with being a farmer.
We came to the farm to learn how to grow and harvest vegetables.
I'm sweating because the sun is too bright.
We want our children to know that this is a very arduous process. Farmers work in their fields, rain or shine. After today's outing, we hope our students will come to cherish the vegetables on their plate.
At the end of the day, students presented the farmer with handmade crafts as a token of their appreciation and gratitude.
Learning Chinese has become a big trend in schools around the world. In recent years, the Tzu Chi Great Love Preschool and Tzu Chi academies in the United States have been striving in this direction, winning the hearts of many parents who also rave about Tzu Chi's character education. At the Tzu Chi Great Love Preschool in Monrovia, the United States, parents check out various educational materials on the table with much interest.
When I was young, I came here for Sunday school. My father also encouraged me to send my children here. Many of my friends also send their kids here and are very happy about the program.
Well, we're very happy with the school. We're happy because the character education is important.
Located in Los Angeles, the Tzu Chi Great Love Preschool in Monrovia was established 8 years ago. Its Mandarin English dual language and humanistic curriculum have won over the hearts of many parents.
We teach them how to sing. Through lyrics and poems, we allow them to get acquainted with Chinese faster.
And learning a lot of Chinese, actually. So she's been singing songs in Chinese, she's been counting in Chinese, and at home we don't really speak much Chinese. But every day when I drive her to school, she wants me to test her.
Tzu in the United States also organized an event to provide the public with information on Tzu Chi's humanitarian education. And through a dance performance, Tzu shed light on the importance of cultivating good character. As Tzu Chi advocates the importance of being independent and inspiring young people to think more, the seeds of goodness planted in these programs are sure to bear fruit in the future. On October 2nd, it will be National Senior Citizens Day in Taiwan. To celebrate the occasion, Tzu Chi volunteers organized 2 events in Taoyuan, one in Bada's Dazhen Borough, and the other at the Chang'an Medical Foundation Nursing Home. Let's go join them.
Golden Bell and Golden Horse winner actor Yang Gui-mei is not putting on a performance today. Instead, she's bringing some cheerful tunes to this nursing home. Members of the Tzu Chi Performers Association arrived at the Chang'an Medical Foundation Nursing Home to celebrate Senior Citizens Day with residents. They even took the opportunity to celebrate centenarian Grandpa Gao Shoujin's birthday.
Grandpa, I wish you health, happiness, and blessings. The grandpa gave me flowers, so I am going to give him a kiss.
Apart from modern pop songs, volunteers also took the seniors on a trip down memory lane with old classics. The celebration not only brought smiles to the seniors' faces, but was also an unforgettable experience for the celebrities.
Offset, we hope these performers can step out of their roles and become themselves. We hope to bring them joy and happiness and give them an unforgettable day. Yes, that is what we hope. When they are able to actualize compassion and filial piety back at their post, their roles will come naturally to them.
Meanwhile, a tea ceremony is taking place here in Bade.
Today, Tzu Chi volunteers organized this event for us to pay tribute to seniors. Many elderly residents and their family have come to take part in the event today.
On the eve of Senior Citizens Day, regardless of where one might be, remember that a simple caring gesture will warm the hearts of your parents and the elderly at home.
Staying in Taiwan in Yunlin County lives 73-year-old Wu Po. Although paralyzed from the waist down, he lives alone and has managed to care for himself while maintaining an optimistic outlook on life.
Taking out leftovers from the fridge, 73-year-old Wu Po prepares his meals here on his bed. Following an accident at the age of 21, Wu has been paralyzed from the waist down.
I'm not sure how it happened, but the whole container suddenly fell over. It hit me and broke my spine.
A gas stove, a fridge, a sink, pots and other necessities lie beside Wu's bed within easy reach. When out of rice, Wu will ask his caretaker to purchase more.
My hands still have some strength, but my feet are completely numb.
Wu also made a screen to prevent flies from touching and infecting his sores on his feet. Friendly by nature, Wu is often visited by friends and neighbors.
He can't get up and has been lying down. I can at least sit in a wheelchair and be pushed over to visit him.
Listening to the radio and watching news on TV are Wu's favorite pastimes. He also watches DaAi TV often. Despite his situation, Wu remains optimistic and remains committed to living the best life he can.
We go to Orange County, California in the United States at the end of today's program, where Tzu Chi volunteers brought Tzu Chi's instant rice to Lincoln Elementary School to share with students from low-income families and their parents. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.